Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Real Theory video. Now, if you're not really sure what these are basically videos where I kind of talk about one series or another and kind of my interpretation on where they were going, where kind of an episode is going, or, where a story was going or something. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of this stuff I've only ever really covered Dragon Ball in this series, but I really kind of want to start getting away from Dragon Ball a little bit and start focusing on other series and stuff that I absolutely love. I mean, Dragon Ball isn't the only thing we can theorize on, right? So today we're going to talk about Bleach. We're going to actually talk about Bleach and try to figure out something that's been on my mind a lot. And I'm sure a lot of you people, if you've, Bleach ended this week and there's still a whole lot of questions left unanswered. So hopefully it's been on your mind too. And before I get started, I do want to say that this wasn't my initial idea. It was something that kind of came up in a discussion video I did with One Piece Nation. That video should be on his channel by at least now. This video isn't going up right away, so I'll link it in the description below. Make sure to go check him out. He's a really nice guy. He does a lot of good work with One Piece. He does Bleach, and he does a lot of other stuff as well. So definitely go make sure to check him out. But one of the big unanswered questions from the end of Bleach that we never really got an answer to really is, who is the new Soul King? Because we know it was established that without the Soul King, the living world, Waco Mundo, the Soul Society, all these other things would just kind of be crunched up, and things would be completely different. Life wouldn't be stable anymore and everything. But 10-year time skip, last two chapters, 10-year time skip. We know that everything is okay, but with no indication on who was the Soul King. Now, there's a lot of people we haven't seen. That could be anybody from, anyone from Squad Zero who's even still remotely alive. The main guy escapes me. He could possibly be it. I mean, there was speculation that Ichigo or Aizen or all these other people can be it. But I'm going to come here with something that I think is an interesting concept, and I'm going to try to explain why I think this is an interesting concept that might particularly work. I think, and could it possibly be that the new Soul King, because we didn't see him in any of the final chapters, is actually Kohn? And okay, I know that sounds crazy, and like I said, I want to make it clear that this is kind of a little bit of a joke as well, but I'm going to try to make my case here. Now, we know Kohn is like the perverted little stuffed animal mod soul from the very beginning of the series that's kind of been around, and he's just kind of gotten in everyone's way and everything. But what is Kohn? Well, he's a mod soul, and we all know mod souls are basically modified souls that you kind of put into one thing or another, and they become kind of a living being. These things are alive. Kohn is alive. Before he was actually found or accidentally kind of found by Rukia, he talks about how he was created the day after they started getting rid of them, and he just watched and feared for his life and everything as all of his friends disappeared. And it's just like a complete turn of events that led him into Ichigo and Rukia's life. So why does that make sense? Well, one of the things I was thinking about, and I do want to do more videos on this, because I feel like while this idea might not be what Kubo was going for, there's so much left for interpretation that it's one of these really cool ideas that we can talk about, is the anatomy of the Soul King. Because we do kind of see illustrated for us in some ways or another that there are living physical beings that are actually somewhat of the anatomy of the Soul King himself. The right arm, the left arm, and the heart with the miracle. And I think that that's really a cool concept about these characters that we know. And a lot of them were, at least two of them were Quincy's. The other one is Jushiro. But what if one thing Kubo was going for is these characters that we're meeting throughout the entire series? Ichigo, Rukia, and all these other people, Kohn and all this stuff, they're just kind of bits and pieces of who exactly the Soul King is. The Soul King isn't necessarily the being that we saw. I mean, he's kind of this shell. I mean, we do see him. He's literally in a shell. And he's kind of, he's just kind of formless. He has no real kind of identity of his own. But people around these extraordinary individuals are actually parts of his anatomy, to one degree or another, and extraordinarily powerful people. Wouldn't it have been cool if they started breaking down, if they had more time to start breaking down all these people in Bleach that we've come to know and love, and go, well, this person is the Soul King's this, and this person's the Soul King's this, and this is why everyone is kind of completely kind of completely really unique and stand out among all the other people, everyone who's really just special in their own way. And I do have a video I want to do about this. So if you guys are interested in that video about who I think basically that we know in Bleach is part of the anatomy of the Soul King, please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And tell me in the comment section below that you really want to do that. If I can get like 50 likes on this video, I'll do that anatomy video sometime soon, because I think that's really interesting. But I want you to think about this. What if Kohn is the soul of the Soul King? I know that's really weird. Like, what if he is like the epitome of what the Soul King is? And wouldn't that be kind of a little bit of an interesting, kind of foreshadowing throughout the entire series? Because the one thing that's consistent, other than just Kohn's like complete perverted nature, is that his insistence that he is the star, he is the main character, he is the most important person in the world of Bleach. Like, isn't that an interesting, funny kind of concept? So like, what if Kohn actually ends up actually becoming the Soul King, whether it's through his mod soul or somehow he was tangibly connected to that of the Soul King, and being that way he was actually able to take over the Soul King's role or responsibility and completely tie together all the worlds and make everything priceless again. And I'm not really going off of really a whole lot in this, other than, the concept that basically all Kohn is a soul. He's a mod soul to one degree or another, and he survived extraordinary situations. He was created by people who, he was created by extraordinary people outside of Soul Society, and he is part of like the anatomy in that sense, like, basically all the really interesting walks of life that we've seen in Bleach. He's the only real mod soul that ever really stood out that was actually canon. And also, just the thing is, like, throughout the entire series, Kohn is kind of the person who breaks the fourth wall all the time. He's the one who talks to fans. If there's anyone in this entire series that would have that power to actually come out and talk to the people reading the manga, the fans themselves, it would be the Soul King, the person who kind of ties the world together and starts telling the story. And wouldn't it be cool if Kohn's just sitting there going, yes, I'm the absolute, like, I'm the good guy. I'm the complete, like, star of the show. I'm the complete, like, I'm the most important person in all of Bleach. And what if it wasn't just a joke all these years? What if he was, like, literally the most important person in all of Bleach? The only reason we're talking to him, the only reason we see him and he acknowledges and notices us is because he's basically the Soul King. He can see us the same way that we can see him, and he knows he's being watched because he's kind of on a higher level than everyone else. But anyway, guys, that's just my real theory right now. I think that's a fun idea. Tell me if you think that's a fun idea. But anyway, guys, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more Bleach real theories going forward, and, Dragon Ball real theories and any type of theory that I want to do, plus the Suiken half hours, the debates, the Dragon Ball discussions, the Bleach discussions, the open questions, and everything else. So anyway, guys, I'll check y'all on the next video. Bye.